Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, my name is Mabel and I do a lot of videos all about moving to the UAE and my life here in the UAE. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, it really helps me out, and I hope to see you in some other videos in the future. Anyway, so today I'm talking about comparing living in Dubai to Ras Al Khaimah. Now, if any of you watching don't actually know, Ras Al Khaimah is one of the other Emirates of the United Arab Emirates, and it's about an hour and 20 minutes where I am now from where I used to live in Dubai Marina. So yeah, I've not moved too far. Like, people are always like, oh yeah, people when I go out, they're always like, you live in Ras Al Khaimah, why? And I'm like, there is life outside of Dubai Marina, guys. But no, I don't know, like, I feel like I have a lot to say on this topic, and I've just, you know, it's quite a new experience for me as well. I only moved to Ras Al Khaimah in September and we're in November now, so it's still kind of new. I'm still kind of figuring it out, but my boyfriend had lived here for 3 years before, so I had visited a lot, and I feel like I already had the answer to a lot of these questions anyway. So yeah, what I'm going to be talking about in this video is just comparing the two, what the lifestyle is like, what the rent prices are like, spoiler, it's cheaper, and what kind of day-to-day stuff there is to do. You can kind of see, I have my sea view. Like, how blessed am I to live with a sea view? Like, amazing. And yes, you do get that with a lot of places in Dubai as well, but I didn't have one. If anybody remembers my old apartment, I do miss it a lot. I do miss it a lot. It was lovely, but for what I was paying to live there, it was a bit more expensive than what I'm paying now. But more on that later in the video. So this video is perfect for any of you that are considering moving to Ras Al Khaimah, or maybe, yeah, you're in Dubai and you just want to change, and I don't know why you're watching this video. But anyway, let's get into it. So, like I just said, like I just hinted at, it is cheaper to live in Ras Al Khaimah, which I don't think will come as much of a shock to anybody, because I think you could compare it to like living in central London compared to living it in like the suburbs somewhere. Like, I don't even know any any places in the suburbs in London, but you know what I mean. Like, it's obviously there's going to be a price difference. So just for reference, I used to pay, what did I pay? I think about the 4,000 dirham mark a month for my place in Dubai Marina, maybe like 3,800, something like that. And now me and Connor split the rent equally, and we pay less than 2,000 dirhams each. So that's a massive difference. That really is a massive difference. Me and my boyfriend Connor share a 1-bedroom apartment in Al Hamra village, which is a nice kind of community in Ras Al Khaimah. So I often compare the communities like Al Hamra to kind of like a holiday resort. Honestly, it's that peaceful, and it's right by the sea, and it's all expats, so I really do compare it to some kind of, yeah, holiday resort. I feel like I'm living on a constant vacation, which is a lovely feeling. It's really, really nice, and it's so, so quiet. But yeah, let's talk about the biggest difference, I think, between RAK and Dubai is the people. First of all, there is way less of them, and I'm saying that as a good thing, by the way, because I feel like I've had my fun. I've made so many amazing friends in Dubai, and I had that fun for 3 years, and now to live somewhere much more peaceful is such a welcome change for me. So yeah, that's the words I'm going to describe it as. I'm going to describe Dubai as busy, not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's really fun, but I will say Ras Al Khaimah is much more peaceful, much more quiet, but then that's kind of like, yeah, that can be a bad thing sometimes as well, because sometimes you just want to be able to step out your building and just go and do anything, anywhere, and like Dubai literally has something for everyone. There's like so many like gyms, yoga studios, bars, clubs, nightclubs, like everything you can imagine you can find in Dubai, whereas in Ras Al Khaimah that's not really the case. There's a couple of bars, there's a couple of restaurants, there's no clubs. Like, there's a lot less of nightlife and kind of that kind of events, but there is nice kind of luxury hotels. You know, you'll still find really nice beaches and pool days. So yeah, it depends on what your kind of preference is for things to do, say at the weekend. But that being said, it's only an hour's drive away. It really is not that far. Like even if you wanted to go to Dubai every single weekend. So yeah, speaking of driving, my next comparison is going to be for those of us watching that don't know how to drive. That's myself included. There isn't really any public transport in Ras Al Khaimah or in any of the other Emirates, I think. Whereas in Dubai, I used to get the metro a lot. A downside of living in Ras Al Khaimah is that you kind of need to drive to be able to go anywhere. But that being said, I work remotely. So I work from home and then I walk 5 minutes to a cafe and work from there. And that suits me just fine because, yeah, I don't really need to drive anywhere. I can walk to the gym in our building, I can walk to the beach, I can walk to the cafe. The only place I can't walk to, actually I could walk to, we did it yesterday actually. It was just a long walk. It's a half-hour walk to the big supermarket, but there's like smaller grocery stores around the village. So yeah, it's a downside, but it's really not a problem for me because I have a boyfriend that drives. So if I want to go to Dubai, what I'll usually do is get a taxi one way, and then on my way back, Connor will kindly drive me. But anyway, I feel like I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but yeah, what I wanted to just kind of highlight to you guys was that there isn't really any public transport, but you also don't need to go as far. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of not that bad. But if you're working, for example, then if you're like a teacher like Connor is, then you will need a car. Okay, next I want to talk about the community out here. I would say I lived in a little bit of a bubble in Dubai Marina, a bubble that was full of other British expats, just like me. And though I did have friends from all corners of the world, especially while I was working in a kind of corporate job where I got to work with so many different people and made a lot of good friends, I would say that I still managed to, I feel like Brits just attract each other, like honestly. So it ended up that a lot of, because my friends had moved over from home, I kind of had, yeah, a really nice group, but they were all like pretty similar to me, like Brits that had moved over from the like girls that moved over from the UK, which was really nice. But I would say living in Ras Al Khaimah is much more varied because even though there is a lot of Brits here, there's also in this village that I'm living in. So yeah, it just makes for a bit of a different experience. As well as that, I would say that it is quite a small community and it's got that kind of small town vibe where everyone kind of knows everyone. And it's weird because I now live with my boyfriend and he's lived here for 4 years. Yeah, it's weird because I feel like he knows everyone here because everyone just like knows everyone, and I'm just like, wow, like it's actually really small town vibes, but not necessarily a bad thing. But it's just kind of funny because in Dubai I feel like there's so many different people to meet, but yeah, here everyone kind of knows everyone. I feel like I've just said two really opposite statements, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that on the one hand, it's very varied here, but everyone does know everyone. And then on the other hand, in Dubai, there's obviously so many more people and it's so busy. But especially in Dubai Marina, there's a lot of Brits that are all interested in the same thing, like brunches and yacht parties. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so jumping back to cost of living here, I'd say overall the cost of living is pretty similar. I use the same grocery app that I did in Dubai than I do here, and the prices are the same. One thing I have noticed is that there's not really any good salons that I found in Ras Al Khaimah. There's one in the mall that I've heard of called Tips and Toes, but I had a bad experience with them in Dubai, so I wouldn't really go there because also it's just so expensive for what it is. So I personally only go to the Salon Dubai, which is the name of a brand, like a chain of salons in Dubai. So I still save all my beauty, like hair, nail, etc. appointments and go there. I don't get them done in Ras Al Khaimah. Something to bear in mind, and I think in that kind of same field there's also much more kind of offers and discounts to be had in Dubai, because like Groupons, for example, or just like special offers that you can go out and find in Dubai, whereas in Ras Al Khaimah I'd say, yeah, that's not really the case. So even though the cost of living is pretty similar, rent prices are lower, but then some things you'd probably pay yeah, the same or even more. So yeah, that's kind of hard to answer specifically because it also depends on your personal lifestyle. For example, in Dubai, I would literally get Deliveroo all the time just because it was available to me there, like right there. I could just go on Deliveroo and order literally anything I wanted. But here, the options are much less on Deliveroo, so now I'm not one of these people at all. Like I cook everything, so I'm saving money in that respect. But then if we did want to go out for, let's say, some cocktails, they'd be the same price as they would in Dubai, to be honest. So I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you found it a bit insightful to, yeah, what it's like to live in Ras Al Khaimah versus living in Dubai, and I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, then be sure to subscribe to my channel. You can find a lot of UAE content on this channel, so yeah, I'd love to see you back here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!